Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you like the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Hey Virgos, this video is for Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, and Virgo Rising. Before I even get started, if you feel like what I'm saying in this video does not resonate with you, go on and check out your Moon and or Rising sign, which I do have linked down in the description box below. This reading is for the Aquarian lunar cycle, so we are talking beginning of February to the beginning of March for the next month while the Moon cycles through the Aquarius lunar cycle, as I said. Okay, guys, let's go on and get started. What, Mooshi? The first card that I have coming up for you guys is in the position of what energy will you guys be tapping into, or what energy will be most prominent for you during this next month. And you have the knowledge card. So this comes with a couple of different messages, Virgo. One could very much so be that during this next month you may be kind of sitting quietly and kind of just observing things. Given the cards that you have coming here, I believe it's probably in regards to your work and how you can progress forward. But this card popping up does tell me that in order for you to move forward in anything, you do need to gain a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more information. You need to know a little bit more about your craft. You need to understand the ropes a little bit more before you start trying to move forward, or before you start trying to solidify whatever it is that you're trying to put into place. This card also comes up with a message of there possibly being like a mentor around you, somebody very prominent for you during this next month that can kind of show you the ropes, kind of lead the way for you in regards to whatever it is that you're trying to bring about. This card also, another message for you. This could also symbolize you having to become a tutor to somebody else. There may be somebody around you that's trying to do something that you have already done, or somebody around you that just kind of looks up to you, and this is just definitely a time where whatever you know or whatever you've got locked away in your brain, it is very valuable for the next person, or from the next person to you, if that makes sense. However, for your reading, I more so pick up on the energy of you having to do a little bit more research, research into, I guess, your craft or your job or your career or whatever it is that you're trying to see play out in the physical. If you haven't seen it start to take place yet, or if you haven't seen it start to, solidify, it's because there's an energy there that there's not an energy there that needs to be there. And Virgo, in order for you to pick up on that energy, there's a little bit more that you have to learn, or there's a little bit more that you have to do, probably in regards to like a process, or like, I don't want to say legal stuff, but like literally kind of, I'm thinking of like an instruction book. Like you need to understand the ins and outs, I guess, of whatever it is that you have going on around you, or that you're involved in, before you can actually make moves. This is confirmed by the card that you have coming up in the position of your opposing energy, what can be an obstacle, what can be a challenge for you during this month. You've got the Three of Wands. So typically this is a card of like hard work and dedication and determination, going towards planning for a very positive future. This is, however, your crossing energy, Virgo. So what this tells me, because it's crossing the knowledge, is that some of you, which is very interesting because you are Virgos and typically you are very, analytical. You tend to think things out before you actually start to do them in the physical. But this card does tell me, coming up in the crossing position, that some of you might have this idea of something or have this plan, and it's not very well planned out, I guess, to say the least. This is in a crossing position, so this does tell me that either you're trying to get something done and you either just don't have enough time, and so you have to rush and get everything together, or you want something so bad that you are like, I don't really feel like I need to put all this energy in. I don't feel like I need to do all of this. I just want the end result right here, right now. However we get there is how we get there. but the result of that is that you have this crossing Three of Wands energy. So this comes in with a little bit of a chaotic energy. This comes in to say, okay, you are not necessarily planning out your future or planning out your endeavors in the way that you need to be. You're not tapping into your Virgo. Period, point blank. All that analytical, let's plan, practicality, earth energy, it seems like with this crossing Three of Wands has gone out of the window. And this knowledge card very much so could resonate with that Virgo energy, by the way. So with that being said, I do always say in most of my spreads, these crossing cards you can always turn into upright supporting positions. And you can do that with the Three of Wands. I think you need to be a little bit more mindful, Virgo, of the actions that you're taking and actually thinking about them before you take them, and thoroughly thinking them through and thinking about, okay, if I do this, what will this do in the long run? And okay, if I want this product or this result, what type of moves do I have to make here before, you know, I can actually see this start to come together, and then we can start to plan the future for it. You've got to be a little, again, be a little bit more mindful, be a little bit more observant, really think things through, really get all the facts, all of the knowledge before you start trying to plan things out. And especially before you start making moves on these plans that you haven't fully solidified, okay? Next card that I have coming up for you, Virgos, is in the position of how you can get in the mix underneath this Aquarian lunar cycle energy. How can you be a little bit more innovative? How can you be a little bit more creative, collaborative, and more expressive? You've got the Five of Wands, which is interesting because this is typically one of my like, aw shit cards, but coming up in this position, I think it comes with kind of a dual energy. I think one, Virgo, you need to come with a little bit of fire. You guys are earth, not to say that you don't get things done, but because you resonate with earth energy, it just, in comparison to the other elements, it's kind of like a very subtle, very slow moving. People can tend to underestimate you sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So as far as this particular lunar cycle is concerned, if you have ideas, Virgo, especially if you think them through before you start making moves, if you have ideas, go on and be out there with your ideas. There are actually probably people around you that can help you develop them, or actually might have some knowledge for you, or have some information or some insight that could be very helpful to you turning this Three of Wands into an upright position, right? Put yourself out there. Be a little bit more, and this is a card of aggressive energy, and I'm not going to read it in a negative way. Just put yourself out there, come forward with a little bit more fire underneath the air of the Aquarian lunar cycle, and, you know, mix and mingle. Say, hey people, I have this idea. You might get a return or you might not. It doesn't really matter, but you won't know unless you try. On the other hand, I do think that this card comes with a little bit of a warning of not trying to do everything yourself. This is a card of very scattered energy and a very spent energy, and of exhaustion. So that being said, Virgo, these ideas, these plans that you have, again, you need to think them out. You need to get all the facts, all the knowledge. And before you start making moves, you need to tap into your Virgo. Now you can tap back into your earth. You need to tap into that earth. Put together a plan, put together a strategy, and figure out exactly how to evenly distribute your energy so that you're not all over the place, so that you're not super spent, and so that you are actually working with people that can help you grow and help you build, and that are not just stretching you and pulling you thin, okay? The last card that I have coming up in your spread, Virgo, for this Aquarian lunar cycle is in the position of the soul message, and you've got time for a nap. So I'm not surprised to see this, because it looks like the Aquarian lunar cycle is going to be kind of a quiet month for you, because you're supposed to be learning and observing. With that being said, Virgo, it seems like you've got a lot of work that you're trying to do, a lot of things that you're trying to bring into place, right? However, you cannot go or create success off of, you know, recycled, old ass, tired energy. So with that being said, Virgo, during this next month, when you start to feel overwhelmed, when you start to feel this Five of Wands energy in a negative light, take a step back. It is okay to take a sick day. It's okay to take a mental health day. It is okay to call into your job and say, I'm sick, and take your paid time off and go up the street and get some ice cream. Like that, it's perfectly fine. People tend to forget that we are human. We are not machines. Although we do have to go to work to pay bills, That is why we are going to work, is to pay bills. We're not going to work to, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to, again, you don't have to spread yourself thin. You don't have to stretch yourself out. When you do start to feel like that, especially during this next month underneath this air lunar cycle, give yourself a break. Take some time. If you need to take a walk around the block, if you need to take a cigarette break or a blunt break, or you need to take a little drink, and you know everybody has their vices, I'm not one to judge. Do what you need to do to keep your zen. When you start to feel overwhelmed, remember, Virgo, it is completely okay to remove yourself for a moment so that you can bring yourself back down to earth, and so that you can release the energies that need to be released. Air energy can be very intense, especially when it is not your element. You guys are earth. You guys don't mix with the air element. So this lunar cycle can be a little intense, a little different for you. So as those times pop up, just remember it's okay to keep your cool, and it is okay to remove yourself if you need to find your way back to your cool, okay? All right, Virgo, that's your reading. If you feel like you need more clarification or you'd like a personal reading, feel free to go on and book one with me. You can find all that information down below in the description box. And other than that, thank you guys for watching. I will see y'all next time.